Welcome to Friday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where today we're going to be trying a puzzle with a very unusual achievement to its name. This puzzle has a 100% approval rating on Logic Masters Germany and a 5-star out of 5 difficulty rating as well, so it's sort of hit the jackpot in two respects. It's called Friends² and it's by JoWovrin. And Joe made this as a birthday present for his friend Jovial, and I'm sure many of you recognise Jovial's name. She is one of the greatest setters on earth of Sudoku puzzles. So, and in fact, Jovial is one of the people who recommended this to us. We've had stacks of recommendations for this puzzle in recent days. Apparently, it is something of a masterpiece. I'm very delighted to see 5 given digits in the grid, and the green squares are friendly squares. Now, I have done friendly Sudoku a couple of times before well, I say recently, it doesn't feel recent to me, but I know I've done them before and I can't remember anything about them or what I've learnt about them. So this could be a very, very long video. You will know better than me. Now I've got a couple of things to mention before I read you the rules though. Firstly, Oberdin. We're going to be returning to the good ship Oberdin on Sunday evening at 10 PM UK time, and we'd love to have your company if you want to see us floundering around trying to be detectives. Yeah, that would be great. Also, yes, on this puzzle, which is 2 Truths and a Lie by zetamath, it's being rumoured to be the best Sudoku of all time. It's an incredibly clever puzzle, and my solve of this has been on Patreon now for a couple of weeks. But we said we were going to release it on the channel, and we are. Tomorrow morning UK time, 10 AM, this puzzle, or the video of this puzzle, will go live. So if any of you have been struggling to do it, you will be able to see my attempt. Now, if you haven't had a chance to have a go at it, do have a go. You can play this right now. There's a link under this video. You will have to go through the rules, which are prodigious in terms of their length. Basically, every standard type of Sudoku rule is included in this grid, and each time 3 times. So you can see there are 3 German whispers lines, for example, and 2 of them are true, 1 of them is a lie. So you basically are going to have to employ that knowledge repeatedly to solve the puzzle. It's absolutely brilliant. Do have a go if you have time. And as I say, the video of this one is going live on the channel 10 AM tomorrow. Now, the only other thing I wanted to mention actually is a little bit more somber. I'm a big fan of poetry. If you follow the channel, you'll know it's something that I do enjoy, and I especially enjoy the work of Brian Bilston, and he regularly tweets his poetry, and this appeared on his Twitter account yesterday, and it's he published it because of course yesterday was the 11th of the 11th, Remembrance Day. It's called 3 Postcards. It's very poignant indeed. I found it very touching. So I thought you might like to see it. I'll give it a read at the end of this video, so you can listen to it too. Anyway, just a little digression there, but for good reason. I hope you agree. Now let's get on with Friends². I'm trying not to cough. Stupid cough is still not going away. Here we go. Here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Green cells are friendly cells, i.e. they contain their row, column, or box number. E.g., row 5, column 9 could be a 5 because it's in because it's in the 5th row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this square here could be a 5. It could be a 9 because it's in the 9th column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, I'm just demonstrating. I know how to count. And it could be in the 6th box because, of course, we label Sudoku boxes in normal reading order. So this is box number 1, box number 2, box number 3, etc., etc. 4, 5, 6. So this is the 6th box, and therefore this particular, this green cell, because it's friendly, can only be one of the digits 5, 6, or 9. Now, there is a kicker here. There are exactly 2 friendly cells in every row, column, and box of the grid. So that is all we get, believe it or not, which is really quite unbelievable to solve the puzzle. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Reposition my glasses, prepare for action. Here we go. Now, all I can think of to do here is to label the options for the friendly cells. So I suppose that's what I'm going to do. This is in the first row, the 6th column, 2nd box. Can't see any way of eliminating any of those from there. Let's try this one. This is, that's in the 2nd row, so there's a 2 here, so it's not a 2. 8th column, 3rd box. Okay, still can't see how to reduce that any further. That's in the 3rd row and the 3rd column and the 1st box. So that's only 1 or 3. That's in the 4th row, 4th column, 5th box. Again, I sort of feel like I'm missing a trick here, but I can't see how to reduce that any further. 5th, oh, this is the example. 5, 6, and 9. I should remember that. This is first column, 6th row, 4th box. And it's not a 4. There we go. So this is down to 1 or 6. Let's do this one next. 7th row, 7th column, 9th box. 8th row, 2nd column, 7th box. 9th row, 5th column, 8th box. No. Hang on a minute. No, actually do hang on. There's nothing, is there? Oh, good grief, right. Well, I shouldn't have expected any more, to be honest, because it is 5 stars out of 5 for difficulty, but that's a bit daunting, to say the least, because basically what we're going to have to do, there are exactly 2 friendly cells in every row, column or box of the grid, so somehow this information is useful. Let me just think about this for a second. So we've got to put 2 friendly cells only in each row, don't we? Because there are 2 in each row, column or box. So we're looking for 18 friendly cells in the puzzle, and we're given 1 for each row at the moment. So I see. So we've been given 9. We've got to put 9 more in. And well, row 1 must have a 1 in it somewhere. I don't know where it is, but there must be a 1 in row 1, and that will be friendly in row 1. So one of the friendly digits in row 1 is the digit 1, and that must apply sequentially. There must be a 2 in row 2, a 3 in row 3. Oh, I see, but then it gets complicated, doesn't it? Because the same thing can be said about column 1, column 2. So although I know one of the friendly cells in row 1, and there must be exactly 2 friendly cells, I know one of them is a 1. The other one, it could be, if it's in this column, it could be a 2. If it's in this column, it could be a 3. Or it could just be a 3 in one of those cells. If any of those are 3, they're in the 3rd box, and that would be friendly. So that's, well, that's not advanced the total sum of human knowledge, has it? That's rather... Hang on, so how on earth do you get a grip on this? So if we think about the digit 1 for a moment, it can be in row 1 and be friendly. It can be in column 1 and be friendly. Well, but it must be in both of those things. And then it can be in box 1 and be friendly. So it's so the digit 1 can be friendly 3 times, like that, for example. Those 3 digits there would each be friendly. This one is in box 1, this is in row 1, this is in column 1. So each digit can be friendly 3 times, which means that there are 9 different digits. So we've got 27 possible friendly cells in this puzzle. But we must only have 18 friendly cells altogether. So we actually have to... We've got to introduce unfriendliness, don't we? So we've got a max... If we positioned all the digits like I've positioned these ones, so let's just think about the 2. So the 2 could go there. Is that going to work? Yeah, there. Oh, there. So that's friendly in row 2. This is friendly in box 2, and then I need another. So those 3 2s, for example, I can't see immediately why that's wrong, but they all seem to meet the criteria of being friendly. But there couldn't be more friendly 2s than 3, because there are only sort of 3 units in a Sudoku. There's a row, a column, and a box. So each digit Right, sorry about this. Just let me think about this. Each digit can be friendly in one of 3 ways, but we mustn't let it be. Or we mustn't let too many of them be friendly in 3 ways, because then we're going to have too much friendliness in the grid. If anyone ever listens to these videos without context, they would find probably they'd have me committed. So I need to reduce the friendliness. So how do I reduce the friendliness? That's the question, isn't it? The way to reduce the friendliness is to not have ones arranged like that, for example. It's to double up the ones. So if we had, yeah, if we had a 1 there, that one, it uses up the friendliness in the row. It's in row 1. It uses up the friendliness in the box. It's in box 1. And the only other position a 1 could be in this grid and be friendly would be in column 1 down there. So there would only be 2 friendly ones in the grid. So that feels like what we have to do. We've got to somehow, well, we've got to make the ones less friendly in terms of their number. There have to be less friendly ones, but those ones that are there have to be super friendly, because they have to be friendly by reference to 2 things. Or okay, they can't, yeah, that cell's interesting. If that hadn't been a 4, because that could have been a super friendly. That one is one that, you know, you can definitely make friends with this one very easily, because this one, if that 4 had been a 1, it's friendly in its row, it's friendly in its column, and it's friendly in its box. Oh, that's going to make things awful. No, 2 doesn't have that same property, because that's interesting. Right, 1 can have the super friendly cell, which it can't in this puzzle because that cell's not available. 2 cannot, and that's because 2's column does not overlap with 2's box. So although I could put a 2 here, for example, and that would be friendly in it's the second row, friendly in its box, it's the box number 2. The 2 that goes in this puzzle in column 2, and there must be one of them, will be friendly, but it doesn't overlap with this friendly box. So 2 you can't have. 3, anything where, yeah, the third box doesn't overlap with the third column, the 4th box doesn't overlap with the 4th column, the 5th box does overlap with the 5th column and the 5th row. Right. So the next, after the digit 1, the next digit that you could have a cell being super friendly in, i.e. a cell that was friendly by reference to its row, column and box, is row 5, column 5. If that was a 5, it would be 3 times friendly. But it can't be because of the given. So is that also true for 9? Yes, it is. Aha, this is really interesting. So what JoWovrin has done, I think, is to position these givens very carefully to avoid the ability of any cell in this puzzle to be 3 times friendly. 9, this would be the 9th row, the 9th column, the 9th box. 6 doesn't overlap with its column. 7 clearly doesn't overlap with its column. 8 doesn't overlap with its column. Right, so there are box 1, 5 and 9 could have been 3 times friendly but aren't. So let's come back to this. So I've still got to reduce the count of friendliness. I can't have too many friendly, or too many versions of friendly digits for each digit. But does that mean I've got to have sort of 1 twice friendly digit, 1 twice friendly cell for each digit? Or is that incorrect logically? So what I'm wondering is if, for the digit 1, if this square was a 1, it's sort of twice friendly, because it's friendly by reference to its row and its box. Now, does every digit have to have a cell like that in order for us to reduce the friendliness from the 27, which would be the maximum friendliness, to its required friendliness of only 18 friendly cells? Yes, it does. It does. Yes, it does. Oh, it's really clear. Sorry, I'm being so slow. But yes, it's really clear. Here's why. The maximum, if we think about the digit 1 on its own, just for a moment, if we don't carefully position the ones and we scatter them around the grid, we're very likely to end up with 3 friendly ones in the grid. If we try and reduce that count, the maximum number of or the minimum number of friendly ones we can include in this puzzle is 2. And that's because I can't put a 1 here. If I could put a 1 here, it would deal with all of the friendly possible positions of 1s. Because if this square was a 1, there would be no more possibilities for 1s in column 1, no more possible positions for 1s in row 1, and no more positions for 1s in box 1. So there would be exactly 1 friendly 1 in the puzzle. But because this square is not available, and because this square is not available, and because this square is not available, the maximum number of reductions in friendly counts we can ever do in this puzzle is we can reduce the 3 total count for 1s down to 2 by allowing, for example, a 1 in this position. Here, this 1 it's friendly on its box, friendly by its row. It's not friendly by its column, and that means a 1 down here will be friendly, and we will get exactly 2 friendly 1s. So we have, because we can't reduce any digit by 2, and we must reduce every digit by 1 in order to get to a count of 18. That's right, isn't it? So that means I can go through every digit in the puzzle and map its position, its possible positions, because I know I've got to have a sort of twice friendly version of each digit in the puzzle, and then a digit that is the other digit that's friendly, if you see what I mean. So for the 1, let's just do the 1s. That's what we're going to have to do, I think. I think we've got to go through every digit and work out how it works. So a 1 in one of those 2 positions is twice friendly, but a 1 in one of those 2 positions, would also be twice friendly. But that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That gives us this digit. Because, yeah, it's not possible for this square to be a 1. Why is this? Because the moment this square is a 1, now the 1 in column 1 would also be friendly wherever we put it. The 1 in row 1 would also be friendly wherever we put it. That's 3 1s that would be friendly in the puzzle. And that requires that we reduce another digit's friendliness by 2 from its count of 3. Its count is always 3 because it's a row, a column and a box. We can't do that. There's no possibility because these cells are not available. So this square is nonsense and has to be a 3. Well, not nonsense, it's actually a groovy square. This is the groovy square. And it's a 3 in a sort of corner. And no, I've not got it. I've not got an and. I thought I was going to get something else. No. Okay, well, let's do 2s then. Oh, no, I can't. I can see that 1 is pointing at one of these, but I don't know which one. Okay, let's do 2s. So, 2. Oh, I see. 2 could be here, look. Yeah, okay, so we know we need to find a version of a 2 which is friendly twice. It's got to be friendly in both its row and its column, or both its column and its box, or both its row and its box. Now, the columns never overlap with the box, so that's impossible. The rows do in those 3 positions. If a 2 is in any of those 3 cells, it is twice friendly. So the 2 could go there, but unfortunately the 2 can go here as well. And it can go here because this is in row 2, so it's friendly on its row, and column 2, so it's friendly on its column. So the 2 is in one of 4 places. Okay, let's look at 3. So 3. Oh, hang on. No, we've done 3. This is already twice friendly. This is in both. This is in the 3rd row and the 3rd column. So that one is a sort of prodigious 3. That one I'm going to. Oh, I was going to label it with just a purple. Why is that not working? Hang on. Why won't that go part? Oh, I know why. It's because because we made these cells green in the software. So when I put purple on top of it, it doesn't realise it's already green. But so I have to make it green and purple. And some of you ask how we do that. We just go to settings, the little cogwheel, and turn on multicolour mode, and you'll be good to go. But anyway, this 3 is the clever 3 in the puzzle. So there must be, yeah, wherever the 3 goes in box 3 now, it's just going to be a normal friendly digit. But we don't know where that goes. So we know it's not in those 3 squares by Sudoku. But, okay, so let's do 4s. So 4 could be, this is box 4, so it could be in row 4. And if it's in row 4, it's got to be in one of those 2 cells. Or it could be in the 4th row and the 4th column, which is that square. And that's very annoying indeed. So I've got some weird pencil marks. You have to forgive my weird pencil marks. 5 then. So 5 we can't put one in the centre. So we've got to either put it, it's got to overlap with box 5. So it's either in the 5th column, one of those 2, or the 5th row. Ooh. So it's in one of those 4 squares. The 5 that is super friendly in the puzzle has to be in one of those 4 squares. So it's not here. That can only be a 4, and that means those are not 4. This 4 is friendly by reference to row and column, so it gets a purple flash. 5, 4. The 4 in box 4 will be in one of those 4 cells and will just be normally friendly. 6. This is the 6th box, which never overlaps with the 6th column. So 6th column, 6th row is... I see what's going on. This cell can be the super friendly 6, or it's got to be in row 6 and box 6, one of those 4 cells. So there is a 6 in one of those 4 cells in the puzzle, and that square has become a 1, which means those squares are not 1, and there's a 1 here in box 1. Oh, hang on a moment. Well, now I know wherever this 1 goes in box 1, it's friendly. So I've got 2 friendly cells. I've got 2 friendly cells in box 1. Yes, there are exactly 2 friendly cells in every row, column, box of the grid. So actually, I now think that can't be a 2, can it? If that's a 2, I've definitely got 3 friendly cells in box 1. That's absolutely gorgeous. I could have done this before. Sorry, I didn't realise. But there is definitely a 1 in one of those, which is definitely friendly because it's in box 1. There's definitely a 3 there, which is friendly. We've already labelled it as such. So that cannot be another friendly cell. Now there's a 2 in one of these cells, which means that square is a 6. That square is not a 6 anymore. The 6 in box 6 moves over here. That square is not a 6. And now I can... Oh, yeah. This is not a 5. Why is this not a 5? But it's because it would be a 3rd friendly cell in row 6. I know the 6 here must be friendly. The 1 is friendly already. The 5 can't be another one, so that's not friendly. And probably what we need to do is to start colouring this grid somehow to try and keep track of the friendliness of the various cells. But let me carry on with... Where did we get to? We got as far as 6, didn't we? So we need to go to 7. So 7 could be row 7, column 7, or row 7 in box 7. One of those 3 cells is a 7. Which means I can't eliminate a 7 from here because this could be the 7. Oh. Okay. By the way, JoWovrin, how do you come up with the idea of this? This is absolutely mad. It's stark raving bonkers to think that this puzzle is in any way achievable. 7, 8, therefore. I'm feeling we can do better with 7s. I can't see how to do it though. 8. So 8 doesn't overlap with the column, so we could have... Yeah, okay, so we could have row 8, column 8. That is a possible 8. Or we can have row 8, box 8, which is one of those. They're the only possible positions for where we can sort of make a super friendly 8 cell. Now that means that square is not an 8. So if I knew this was a 7 in this domino, then I would know this square was a 2. I'm not sure if I can do that somehow. Oh, no, and I can't delete the 8 from here because this could be the 8. Bobbins. 9 then. So 9 must be... row 9, column 9 is out. So it's got to be a box 9 overlap with either row 9 or column 9. So the 9s are symmetrical with the 1s, therefore. So that's exactly what we got up here with the 1s. So the 9s are in one of those positions, which means this square is a 7. Because we know there must be a 9 in one of those dominoes to be the super friendly 9. And oh, yeah, okay. Okay, well it's not quite as good as if the 7 has been here, but it's still, I can remove 8 from here just as I removed from 2 by there. The logic's totally symmetrical because I know that in box 9, I should say, in box 9, one of these is friendly and that's friendly. And that's the 2 friendlies. So this can't also be friendly. Now there's an 8 here, which means this is not an 8. Now what? Now we maybe colour, do we? Is that the next thing we should do? It's a weird 5-9 pattern with this sort of empty rectangle nature of 9s in box 9, looking at the same digits here and here. And that goes into box 5. Oh, this is, hang on a minute, let me just think about this. So if there is a 9 in that domino, that becomes a 5, that becomes a 5, that becomes a 9. So if there's a 9 there, there's a 9 there, and presumably vice versa. If there's a 9 there, 5, yeah, that becomes a 9. So then, yeah, okay, there's a weirdness with 9s here. The 9 in row 9 is definitely in one of those 3 cells, and the 9 in column 9 is definitely in one of those 3 cells. So there's no 9s in those cells, there's no 9s in those cells, but we've actually got no knowledge about 9s in this grid at all. So that's about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Right, let's colour. Let's go back to colouring. You know I need no excuse. So, in box 1, we've got a friendly cell here and a friendly cell in that domino. So none of those cells are friendly, so we have to pick a different colour. We'll use blue. Yeah, this is good, isn't it? We know whichever one of these is a 2 is friendly. The 6 is friendly, so all of those squares acquire the mantle of blueness. That 2 is not friendly. So, here's something. There must be a friendly cell in this domino, because there must be a second friendly cell in row 3. Now that's going to make, that means these 3 cells contain the 2 friendly cells for box 3, so all of those become blue. Which... Yeah, but hang on. Wherever the 3 goes in box 3, it's friendly. And now the 3, because of this 3, the only place the friendly 3 can go is that square. So that's a 3. That's a 3 in one of those 2 positions. And one of these must be friendly. One of these must be friendly. But it's not, it can't be a 3, so it can't be its friendliness is not being acquired by reference to its box, or its row, so it's its column. So either this square is an 8. Oh, good grief. Or this square is a 9. Well, that square is not a 9 because of the logic we were doing earlier regarding the 9s, this sort of weird pattern on 9s here and here. We said there's no 9s here, there's no 9s here. That can't be a 9. And if that can't be a 9, it cannot be friendly because its qualities to be friendly are 9th column, 3rd row, 3rd box, and it can't be any of those things. So that's blue. That, therefore, is friendly. We therefore know it's an 8. Don't seem to know very much about 8s. Well, although 8 is in one of 2 places now in box 9, just by Sudoku, the interaction of the 8s there and the 2 and the 8s here. Now what? 1. Where does 1 go in this box? There by Sudoku. So 6 is vertical in column 9 because of this 6. 1 is in one of those 2 places in box 6 by Sudoku. 4. Why? How do I do that? How do I do that? I look at this row, I see the coloured 6 very clearly, and I write 6 in there. This one I have to do later for some reason. It is balmy. My brain is just weird. So this is a 4-6 pair. These squares now are 5, 7 and 9. That's not 7. Well, we know that one's not 9 because we said there couldn't be a 9 in that string of digits. So this one is only 5 or 7, which might be important. I tell you what is important. I've got 2 friendly digits in column 8, so the rest of this column is all unfriendly. And therefore this 6 is impossible, this 9 is impossible. That's 6. I think all of the 6, 7, yeah, no, all of the given digits were just unfriendly digits straight out of the bat. We didn't realise they were so nakedly unfriendly, but they are. So now have I definitely got a 6 in one of those? Yes, that's friendly. So that's 2 friendlies in row 6. The rest of this row is blue. We know there's a 5 in one of those 3 cells, which is friendly, going along with the friendly 4. That's blue. Okay. Come on, keep going. Just a bit more. We've got a friendly here and friendly 8s. So the rest of this row is all blue, and that means that 9 is impossible. Now we've got a weird 8-9 pair in box 9 in those 2 cells. That feels important, doesn't it? So 3 is horizontal in one of those 2 cells, which doesn't do anything. Okay, so wherever the 9 goes, it's the other friendly cell. Oh, and in this box, I've got that's friendly and the 6 is friendly, so those all become blue. It's near. It feels very close, doesn't it, to being quite useful, this. But it's not quite getting done. Now, this is friendly, the 8 is friendly, so all of those turn blue. Is that useful? No, not quite. It's very close. I feel like we're right on the cusp of something here. How do we... Oh, there's a 6 here, and there's a... Right, okay, this 6 is looking at that cell. That cannot be a 6. Therefore, that cannot be the friendly cell. Therefore, this is friendly. And that's green. And that's the super friendly one. Oh, in fact, they're both super friendly. This is in row 7, column 7. That's in box 6, row 6. Those both deserve to be purple. So which super friendly ones have we got? We've not got the 1, we've not got the 2. We've got the 3, the 4, the 5, whichever one of those will be super friendly, the 6, the 7. The The 8 is in one of those and is super friendly, and the 9 is in one of those. So we sort of approximately work them out without getting them all. But that's 2 friendlies in this column, so that's unfriendly, which means that's friendly, and that's the 9, and that's the 8, and that's the green and the purple. Now we've done this row, so those become blue. The 9 fixes this as a 5. That fixes that as a 5, which is lovely, because that therefore is a super digit. Those become blue, these become blue, that becomes a 9. Now we've done this column, look, for blues, and we can get rid of those 2 squares as they can't be digits anymore, or can't be friendly digits. There must be a friendly digit here. What's its nature? Oh, it's a 4. Yeah, okay, look, I've not put a 4 in this box. Wherever the 4 goes, it's friendly. So the 4 is now in this domino, which means we can place 4 in box 6, which means I can place 4 in box 9. I can place 3 using my pencil marks. This 5 is giving me a 7. I don't believe it. This is just, it's madness. It's what it is. These are a 2-8 pair by Sudoku. These squares are now known as well. They're 2, 5 and 6. That's not 6. 2, 5 and 6. That's fixing that one. That's 9. That's 5. So these squares are now known to be 1 and 7. And by Sudoku we can do them. 7 and 1. That's a 1 by Sudoku. There's a 7 over here. These squares have got to be 3 and something. 3 and 9. Wow. Wow. Okay. That square's got to be blue because it's not the 4. That means in this column we need a second one. That's green. What's this one's option? This can't be 9. Or 1. Oh, so this has to take its number from its column. We've worked out it's friendly from column 1. It's not 1, it's not 9, that's a 7. And that 7 means that's a 2. And that means that's not a 2. And that's the 2 friendlies for box 7. Those go out. A 7 is in one of those squares by Sudoku. Look, we've got a 7, 7, 7 arrangement. We've now got a 7, 8 pair in row 8, one of which is friendly, and whichever one it is, it impacts on. This is so peculiar, this puzzle, because basically whichever one of these is 8, you get a 2 as a result in a totally unrelated square, and it's a totally unrelated digit. It's through the it's because there's an X-wing on friendlies. So that's the way to think about that. It's sort of a friendly X-wing, which you don't get very often. Oh, 2 here. Oh no. Okay, look, I could have got, there's a 1-2 pair there, 2 there, so that's been a 2 and a 1 for some time, probably. That's a 1 by Sudoku. The 1 is super friendly. The 2 is not friendly, naughty 2. You should play better with others. 2 is, I was going to say 2 is here. I was expecting to be able to write it in, but I can't. Those squares are 3 and 8, I think. Get rid of the corner pencil marks. So that's interesting. What do we need along here then? 5, 6 and 9. We can just place 9. Look, that's a 9. This is a 5 or a 6. It's not a 5. That's a 6. That's a 5. That's a 2. That's a 6. Oh, this is so beautiful. Look now. 2s. 2s. Where does the 2 go in column 5 therefore? Well, it's not in those squares and it can't be here. So it must be there, which fixes the 2 and fixes the 8. We can do the same trick. 8 here is in one of those 2 cells. Now it's aligning with the 8s in this row. So again, ask the question, where's the 8 in column 5? Well, we know it must be one of these 3 8 pairs, so it's got to be here. 8, 3. So 3 is now in one of those 2 cells, and I think by Sudoku this square is now forced to be a 3, which makes this square a 1, this square a 1, and this square a 4 to complete the column, that square a 4, that square a 6. I think we've got very lucky with this so far. This is meant to be monstrously hard. 4, 5 and 8 to complete this row. Well, it's not 8. This is a 4 or a 5, I think. 4, 5 or 8. That's not 4. Okay, so what do we do next? I sort of feel like it would be very nice to know the order of these. Oh, I tell you something I know. I've got 2 friendlies in column 2, so that's not friendly. And if that's not friendly, see, again, this is weird. It's weird. The fact that we've got a 1 here gives us a 4 in box 4, which is slightly peculiar. Now that one doesn't deserve to be purple because we've got our purple 4. This is just a normal friendly 4. So now we should have all of the digits purpled apart from 2 and 8. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Yeah, we do. Okay, so where should we look? Row 9. We need 2, 3, 4 and 5. There are 2, 3, 4 here. So this square is a naked single. 5. That square's an 8. That square's a 4. That square's a 5. There's a 5 up here in this domino. That square has got to be a 3. Which means, there's a 2 there, so that's a 2. I don't know if I could have got that earlier, but that's now a 3. Whoa, that's now a 3 by Sudoku. That's 3, that's a 9. These 2 squares have got to include a 6 and an 8. We can do them. 6 and 8 go in the grid. This column, 7 and 9. I don't know if we can do those. I sort of think we should be able to, but I can't immediately see how to. So this is 5. There we go. 5 and 7 have to go into this box still. So that square's got to be 7, that square's got to be 5, and that square's got to be 9. And that ought to be quite powerful, I think. 9 goes here. 9 into one of those squares. The digit we're missing is a 7. We've not pencil marked 7 up here, which is remiss of us. What about those 2 squares? 5s and 6s. Yeah, we can do it. 6, 5. These 2 squares, 7 and 8. Yes, we can do that as well. 8 and 7. Remove the 7 from those. This becomes a naked single 9. Which means that's a naked single 9. This square is a 5. I'm just laughing because this is so ludicrous. Now, we've got a 2, 7 pair here. This square is now obviously a 3. I really hope I've not made a ricket of this. I'm slightly perturbed by the fact we haven't yet realised the order of this 2, 7, 7, 8 stuff. Let's hope that gets sorted out very quickly. 6s and 8s. This is a 6. Oh, and this 8 is finally doing it. Look, 8, 7, 7, 2. We know the 2 up here is the friendly 2 and the purple 2. That becomes blue. We need a second purple, well, green here. That's the 8. That becomes blue. These 2 squares are a 2, 4 pair, and it does look good actually. 4 and 2, that does look like the missing digits. We should have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got these cells are sort of single friendlies. Then we've got the ones who've paired up and become double friendlies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that should make 18. 2 in each row. Yeah, 2 in each column. It must be right. It must be. It's felt so smooth. Yeah, we're done, I think. Yeah. That's magnificent. That is just magnificent. It is a crazy idea, executed with, well, panache, Cyrano de Bergerac-esque. JoWovrin, you have nothing left except your panache. That is absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. Good grief. Where do you start with this? Well, you start with, I think, the sheer elegance of the conception, which is that in a puzzle where you are given hardly anything really, you're given one friendly cell in each row, each column and each box to start with. You're told there are exactly 2 in each row, column and box, and you have to then think your way through the fact about, or think about what that means. And there may be a more elegant way of doing it than my sort of iterative approach of sort of trying to work out what it meant. But you eventually then work out you have to collapse some into each other. You have to deprive digits of being able to be friendly all over the place and force them to be friendly in a concentrated way, in a very specific way. And then it's really gorgeous when you work out that actually each digit must be double friendly once, because that is a big breakthrough. It allows you to position those double friendly digits throughout the grid, and then you could tell then that JoWovrin had positioned the friendly digits we were given in such a way that you actually learnt things from that, and the Sudoku became solvable. It's yet again another puzzle that just takes your breath away. It really does. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I do enjoy them, especially when they're kind. And next bit should be a poem. Thanks for watching. I'll back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic. 3 postcards by Brian Bilston. The first one came from Weston-super-Mare, with the newly built Grand Pier in view, a bright gleaming promise of the future, and the sea an impossible blue. Unfamiliar, that neat hand, the black fountain pen, but she knew he was the one, even then. The next she received 18 months on, Tidworth Station as viewed from Church Hill, the foreground a row of thatched cottages, the barracks beyond, fields silent and still. She propped it against a vase on their mantelpiece, a wedding present from her niece. The last a busy scene from Boulogne, a censer-passed, heaven-sent souvenir. Crossing rough, but I made it, he'd written. When it's all over, we should come here. She clutched it tight as the baby moved once more. The telegram had come 2 days before.